Good day, students. You are welcome to Top Form Education Associates. My name is Olubayo Marilyn Kende, your mathematics teacher. And today on mathematics, we are going to be looking at the topic plane shapes, area of plane shapes. Now, the lesson objectives. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to apply appropriate formula to calculate the area of squares, rectangles, parallelogram, triangles, and trapezium. Also, by the end of this lesson, you should be able to calculate the area of a circle using the formula A equal to pi r square, A standing for area. Also, by the end of this lesson, you should be able to calculate the areas of shapes made by combining other basic shapes, meaning by the end of this lesson, you should be able to find the area of compound shapes. Now, the materials we'll be using for the lesson today is the new General Mathematics for Junior Secondary School Book 1 and Essential Mathematics for Junior Secondary School Book 1. Also, we'll be making reference from Stand Mathematics for Junior Secondary School Book 1. Introduction. The area of a shape is a measure of its surface. The area of a shape is a measure of its surface. The square is the shape used for the basic unit of area. That is, the square shape is the basic unit of area. Now, areas of squares and rectangles. A square is a plane shape with four sides that are equal. Okay, a square has four equal sides, while a rectangle has four sides with opposite sides equal. So the difference between a square and a rectangle is that a rectangle has two sides opposite that are equal. The area of a square is equal to the square of the sides. So when looking for the area of a square, all you have to do is square the sides. Now, area of a square is given as L raised to power 2. That is the length of sides squared. Okay, the length of sides squared. Therefore, to find the length of a square when area is given, find the square root of the area. Okay, so when we have a question and we are given the area, we square the area to get the length. Okay, when we have a question and we are looking for the length and we are given the area, what we have to do is to square the area to find the length. Now, area of a rectangle is equal to the product of its length and breadth. Okay, the area of a rectangle is the multiplication of the length and the breadth of that rectangle. Therefore, an area of a rectangle is given as length times breadth. Okay, remember that we said breadth can also be width. Okay, so area of a rectangle is length times breadth. Let's take some examples. Number 1. Calculate the area of a rectangle which measures 11 cm by 4 cm. 2. Given that the area of a square is 225 cm square, find the length of each side. Okay, remember we said whenever we are given an area of a square, we have a formula to use. Number 3, calculate the area of the given shapes below. Okay, these shapes A and B, we are asked to look for the area of these shapes. The lengths are in centimeters. Okay, we are working with centimeters. Now, number 4, calculate the shaded areas in the figures. Okay, in these figures below, all the lengths are in centimeters and the angles are right angles. If you look at this, you see that all these angles here are right angles, and they said these figures are in centimeters. Number 5, a floor 4 meter long and 3.5. A floor 4 meter long and 3.3 meter wide is to be rugged. Okay, find the area of the floor. A. B. Find the cost if the rug costs 2,400 naira per meter square. Okay, the first thing to do is to find the area of the floor. Then we find the cost of the rug if the rug costs 2,400 naira per meter square. Number 6, an event center hall is 25 meter by 12 meters. And the area is 8 meters square. It is kept as a podium. Okay, an event center hall is 25 meter by 12 meter. An area of 8 meters square is kept as the podium. What is the left over? what is the leftover. We have two questions to answer here. First of all, we are going to look for the area, okay, and we're going to look, first of all, find the area of the podium, then we look for the area that is left behind. Now, the solution. The first question, we were given length and we're given breadth, and we're asked to look for the area of the rectangle. Now, the length was given as 11 centimeters and the breadth was given as 4 centimeters. Therefore, to look for the area, we'll multiply the length by the breadth. And when we do that, our answer is 44 centimeters square. So we have the area of the rectangle as 44 centimeters square. Number 2, we're asked to look for the length of a square given the area. Remember, we said that area is the square of the length. And when we are looking for the length, we square the area. Now, we've been given the area, let's look for the length. So our formula for looking for the length is the square root of the area, and when we take the square root of 225, we have 25 centimeters as our answer. I hope you are following. Now, the third question, we're given a shape. This is a compound shape, and we're asked to look for the area of the shape. Now, the first thing to do here is to demarcate. If you see what we've done here, we've separated it into the rectangle so we can look for the individual areas before looking for the area when it is complete. Now, we have A and B, part A and B. So, first of all, we'll look for the area of A. Now, area of rectangle is given as length times breadth. So, the area of A, we have the length here as 12 and the breadth as 7. When we take the multiplication, we have 84 centimeters square. Now, to look for the area of rectangle B, we do the same thing. We'll multiply the length by the breadth. We have the length here as 3 and the breadth as 4. So when we take the multiplication, we have our answer as 12 centimeters square. Therefore, to get the area of this shape, to get the area of this compound shape, we add the area of A and the area of B. Therefore, 84 centimeters square plus 12 centimeters give us 96 centimeters square. Now, the answer, that is the area of this compound shape, is 96 centimeters square. Now, the next question is also a compound shape. We're asked to look for the area of this shape. Like we did before, we are going to separate it into different segments. So we have A, B, and C. So we look for the area of A, the area of B, the area of C. We add it together and get the area of this shape. Area of A is given, the length is from here, the length is 6 centimeters, and the breadth is 2 centimeters. We've been given that the length, the figures are in centimeters. So let's take into our units. So when we do the multiplication, we have area of A as 12 centimeters square, the area of B as 4 centimeters square, the area of C as 12 centimeters square. So the area of the compound shape is the area of B plus the area of A plus the area of C. And when we take the addition, when we take the sum, we have our answer as 28 centimeters square. Now, the next question, we're given a shape. This is the shape we're given. We're asked to look for the area of the unshaded part. The area of the unshaded part. So, the first thing we are going to do is to look for the area of the square. Now, if you look at this diagram, you see that we have a square. Then, inside the square, we have a rectangle. Okay, so the first thing to do is to look for the area of the square. And we know that in looking for the area of a square, we multiply the length by 2. Okay, we raise the length to the power of 2. And when we do that, we have 8 raised to the power 2, that, or 8 times 8, which will give us 64 centimeters square. So the area of the square is 64 centimeters. Now let's look for the area of the rectangle. Okay, this is the area, this is the rectangle we have here. We have it as 5, the length as 5, and the breadth as 1. So when we do the multiplication, we have 5 centimeters square. Now, to look for the shaded part of this square, we've looked for the area of the square, we've gotten the area of the triangle. Now let's look for the the area of the shaded part. Now, if you look at this diagram, you will see that the rectangle is not shaded, okay, but the square is shaded. Now, we simply subtract the rectangle, which is not shaded, from the area of the square to give us the shaded part. I hope you understand. This rectangle is not shaded, the square is shaded, and we're asked to look for the shaded part. Okay, now we've gotten the area of the square and we've gotten the area of the rectangle. So to look for the area of the shaded part, we remove the area of the rectangle from the area of the square. And in doing that, our answer is 59 centimeters square. Okay, I hope you understand. Now we are given another question. This is also a compound shape, and we're asked to look for the area of the unshaded parts. Okay, so the first things first, we're going to look for the area of the square. This is similar to what we just did. We look for the area of A, the area of B. Okay, then we take the sum. Now, the area of the square in total is 8 plus 4. This is 8, this is 4, times 8 plus 4. Then you add your answers. You have 12 times 12, and our answer is 144 centimeters. The area of the unshaded parts, which is A and B. We have two unshaded parts here, A and B. A is giving us 4, the length is 4, breadth is 4. So we do the multiplication and we have 16 centimeters square. Now, we've done the same for B. So the total area of the unshaded part is 16 plus 16. B is also 4 multiplied by 4. Okay? The area of A, 4 multiplied by 4 to give us 16. The area of B, 4 multiplied by 4 to give us 16. So, the total area of the unshaded part is 16 plus 16 to give us what? 32. So, to get the area of the shaded part, we remove the area of the unshaded part, which is A and B, from the area of the square. Okay, we remove the area of the unshaded part A and B from the area of the square, which is 144 minus 32. And our answer is 112 centimeters. Therefore, the area of this shaded part of this diagram is 112 centimeters square. I hope you are following. Number 5, we're given a question. Let's go back to the question and read it. They told us that an event center hall is 25. The question is number 5. We said a floor 4 meter long and 3 1/3 meter wide is to be rugged. Okay, a floor 4 meter long and 3 1/3 meter wide is to be rugged. Find A, the area of the floor. B, the cost if rug costs 2,400 naira per meters square. Now, the solution. We're given an area of a floor with these dimensions, 4 by 3.5 meters square. And we're asked to look for the area. So in looking for area, we know that we multiply the length by the breadth or the width. So when we do the multiplication, we have our answer as 14 meters square. Now, the B part of the question asks us to look for the cost. The cost of rugging the area of the floor if 1 meter square of the rug costs 2,400 naira. So in doing that, we'll multiply the area by the cost of 1 meter square. Okay? We multiply the area by the cost of 1 meter square. So the given cost is 2,400. So we'll multiply it by the area which we've solved, which is 14 meters square. Therefore, our answer is 33,600 naira. Now, number 6, we're given a hall with the following dimensions, 25 by 12 meters, 25 being the length and 12 being the breadth or the width. And we're asked to look for the area. Okay, so in doing that, we'll multiply both 25 by 12, and we have the answer as 300 meters square. Now, the next part of the question, we have to look for the area of the podium. Okay, the area of the podium. Now, we do the same thing. We'll multiply the length and the breadth, which is 8 multiplied by 8, and it gives us 64 meters square. Now, the last part of the question. We're asked to look for the area left. Okay, we're given the area, we've looked for the area of the hall, and we've found the area of the podium. So we are now looking for what is left. So in doing that, we subtract the area of the podium from the area of the entire hall. So we take the subtraction, 300 minus 64, we have our answer as 236 meters square. I hope you understand. Now let us go to area of parallelogram. Area of parallelogram. Now, the area of a parallelogram is given as base times height. Base times height. Therefore, the base of a parallelogram, to look for the base, you use the formula area over height. Okay? The formula for looking for area of a parallelogram is base times height. So if you want to get the base of a parallelogram, let's say you are given the area, you are given the height. To get the base, you divide area over height. And height, in the same light, to look for height, you divide area over base. Okay, so base of a parallelogram is area over height, and the height of a parallelogram is area over base. Let's take some examples. We have a parallelogram here, and the given formula for looking for area is base times height. So we have the height as 5 centimeters and the base as 3 centimeters. Simply multiply them and the answer is 15 centimeters square. Very simple. Number 2, we also have another parallelogram here. Okay, and we're asked to look for the area. So first of all, we multiply this 4 by 3. 4 the height, base 3. When we multiply it, we have the area as 12 centimeters square. Now, let's look for the base, okay? The base of this parallelogram. Let's look for the second. You know, if you look at this diagram, you see that there are 2 parallelograms here. Let's look for the second base. Now, in looking for the base, we said we divide area by height. We divide area by height. So, the height here, 12 centimeters. The area here, 12 centimeters, and the height, 2 centimeters. Okay? We're looking for B now. We're looking for this part. So when we divide it, we have our answer as 6 centimeters. Now, 3. The base of a parallelogram is 6 centimeters and its height is 4 centimeters. Calculate the area of the parallelogram. Now, if the other side of the parallelogram is 8 centimeters, pay attention. We have 2 parallelograms here. Let's go again. The base of a parallelogram is 6 centimeters, its height is 4 centimeters. Now calculate the area of the parallelogram, full stop. If the area of the other side of the parallelogram is 8 centimeters, calculate its corresponding height. In this symbol here means H in centimeters. That's height in centimeters. Now let's go. Area of a parallelogram given as base times height. Where is our base? Where is our height? We have it here. This is the base. This is the height. So we take the multiplication. When we do that, we have our answer. We have the area of the first parallelogram as 24 centimeters. Now, to look for the height, we divide the area over base. Okay, we've gotten the area now, 24 centimeters. Now, the base is what? The area of the second part. This is the second part. This is the base of the second part. So we divide it. 24 divided by 8 is 3 centimeters. So the height of this second part of the parallelogram is 3 centimeters. Now let's go to area of triangles and quadrilaterals. Also, we are going to be looking at the area of trapeziums. Area of triangles, quadrilaterals, and trapeziums. Now, since the area of a parallelogram is base times height, then the area of a triangle will be half base times height. Okay? The area of a parallelogram is given as base times height. Now, the area of a triangle will be half base times height. Any side of a triangle can be taken as a base. Okay? In a triangle, any part can be taken as a base. Each base has its corresponding height. Note that any diagonal divides a rectangle into 2 equal right-angled triangles. Take note, a diagonal divides a rectangle into 2 equal right-angled triangles. Now look at this rectangle. You see a diagonal coming through here from B to D. Okay, and what we have here is a right-angled triangle. Look at it. We have a right-angled triangle. Now, the two right-angled triangles from this diagram are triangle ABD, and triangle CB and D. Any diagonal, number 2, any diagonal divides a parallelogram into two equal triangles. Remember, we said that a diagonal divides a rectangle into two equal right-angled triangles. Okay, there's a difference. A diagonal divides a rectangle into two right-angled triangles, while a diagonal divides a parallelogram into two equal triangles. Now, this is a parallelogram. We have a diagonal coming here from point A to point C. Look at it, from point A to point C, and we have two equal triangles formed. Okay, the two triangles formed here are triangle ABD, triangle ABD, and triangle CBD. Now, the area of a trapezium, the area of a trapezium is giving us half h, which is height. Half height, open bracket, A plus B, where A and B are the parallel sides of a trapezium. Okay, a trapezium has two parallel sides. So, the area of a trapezium is giving us half h, open bracket, A plus B, where A and B are the two parallel sides, are the parallel sides of the trapezium, and h is the height. Now, area of a quadrilateral. A diagonal divides a quadrilateral into two right-angled triangles. Okay? It divides it into two right-angled triangles, just like the rectangle. Okay? It divides into two right-angled triangles. If the diagonal divides the quadrilateral into two right-angled triangles, which is triangle ABD and CBD, therefore, the area of a quadrilateral meaning having four sides. Therefore, the area of a of quadrilateral ABCD will be area of triangle ABC plus area of triangle CBD. I hope we are following. The diagonal divided this quadrilateral into two right-angled triangles. So, in looking for the area of this quadrilateral, we are going to add the area of the first triangle and the area of the second triangle. Therefore, it is given, the area of a quadrilateral is giving us half base times height plus half base times height, BH representing base and height. Now, let's take some examples. Calculate the area of the figures below. We have figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We are asked to look for the area of these figures. Now, let's look at the solution. The figure is represented here. Area of a triangle is giving us half base times height. Therefore, the height here, you can see it is 3 centimeters and the base is 8 centimeters. What is the formula for looking for the area of a triangle? Half base times height. So when you take the multiplication, we have our answer as 12 centimeters square. Number 2, we also have another triangle here. When we're asked to look for the area of triangle, which we've seen is half base times height. Where is the base? Where is the height? This is the base. This is the height. So when we do the multiplication, we have the area of this particular triangle as 30 centimeters square. 30 centimeters square. Now, number 3, we're given a quadrilateral. Okay, this is a quadrilateral. And remember, we said that when a diagonal divides a quadrilateral, we have two right-angled triangles. Look at it. This is a right angle here, and this is another right angle. So this diagonal has divided this quadrilateral into two right-angled triangles. And we said that to look for the area of the quadrilateral, we add the area of the first triangle and the area of the second triangle. So, area of triangle A plus area of triangle B will give us the area of this quadrilateral. Now, let's go. To get the area of triangle A, half base times height. Okay, half base times height. We'll do the multiplication. We have the answer. The same thing for the second one. Then we do the addition. which is 4 plus 4. Therefore, the area of this quadrilateral is 18 centimeters squared. Now, number 4, we're given a trapezium and we're asked to look for the area. We're asked to look for the area. And you know, in looking for area, we make use of the formula half h, open bracket, a plus b. Remember, h is the height. A and b are the parallel sides of the trapezium. These are the parallel sides of this trapezium. So we impute the figures into the formula. The height 4 centimeters, A 3 and B 7. So when you do the multiplication, we have our answer as 20 centimeters. Okay? Therefore, the height or the area of this trapezium is 20 centimeters. Number 5, we're given another trapezium here and we're asked to look for the area. Now, whenever you are given a trapezium, the first thing to do is to take note of the parallel sides. Okay? Take note of the parallel sides. You see the first side here is 6 and the second one here is 9. So our height is given as 5. So you impute all this into the formula half h, open bracket, a plus b, and we get our answer. So when you do that, we have half multiplied by 5, open bracket, 6 plus 9. We have half times 5 times 15. And when you do that, the final answer, the area of that trapezium is 37.5 centimeters.